Welcome to Rise to Wealth. Here, I share quality knowledge through storytelling. If you enjoy the content, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Now, enjoy the video. What if I told you that one car could be the key to financial freedom? Lucas was always a practical and organized person. He had a stable job as an IT technician at a mid-sized company, and while he could pay his bills, he still felt far from achieving the financial independence he'd always wanted. His salary covered his expenses and allowed him to save a little, but deep down, he knew that if he really wanted to increase his income, he'd need to find a way to make money without sacrificing even more of his time or energy. The daily work routine was demanding, and Lucas wasn't interested in taking on a second job that would leave him with even less free time. For him, the key was finding a way to generate passive income that didn't require his constant presence and could grow gradually over time. As a thorough researcher, he would spend his evenings exploring ideas about investments and different ways to generate additional revenue streams. However, despite all the promising ideas he found, none seemed to truly fit his situation until he discovered something that piqued his curiosity. One evening, Lucas stumbled across an unexpected concept: renting vehicles to rideshare drivers. He knew apps like Uber and Lyft were on the rise, and that more people were turning to driving as a flexible source of income. But what Lucas discovered was that many of these drivers didn't own a car and needed to rent vehicles to work. This wasn't just a niche market, he found a major opportunity with drivers willing to pay as much as $400 per week to rent a reliable car, particularly models that were economical and low maintenance. Suddenly, Lucas saw a new door open to a business of passive income that could be relatively easy to manage. Are you curious to know how Lucas crafted this insight into a reliable income stream? Keep watching and find out every step of his journey. From that moment on, Lucas saw a potential in car rentals that he had never considered before. The idea of transforming a single vehicle into a regular source of income without the need for his constant presence seemed like the perfect opportunity. Still, he knew he had to study more, understand the challenges, and weigh the advantages before fully committing to this new project. So, over the next few days, Lucas dove into intensive research about the car rental market, focusing especially on rentals for rideshare drivers. He became deeply interested in understanding how different car rental platforms operated, what types of ads were effective, how to create solid contracts, and which car models were in highest demand. Lucas also spent time analyzing the cost-benefit ratio of buying a car, specifically for rental purposes, and comparing it to the monthly income he could generate. Before long, he realized that if he could keep a car rented out consistently, the investment would pay off. But Lucas knew he'd need a solid strategy to start safely and effectively. The prospect of having stable monthly income from renting out a car was exciting, but he wanted to understand the numbers fully. Lucas calculated that he could start with a used but reliable, economical car one that was popular with rideshare drivers and charge a competitive rental price. This would cover the necessary maintenance costs and leave him with an attractive profit margin. With a clearer vision of how the car rental system worked for rideshare drivers, Lucas began drafting the first steps of his strategy. He was determined to make this project a success, and he understood that each initial decision would be crucial to ensuring a profitable investment. Now, with the concept firmly in his mind and the motivation to bring it to life, Lucas was ready to move forward. What he didn't realize was that this decision would completely transform his financial life. Curious about how he structured his strategy to start earning from car rentals and turn it into a genuine source of passive income. Let's dive into every detail of how he made it work. With the concept of renting vehicles to rideshare drivers fully formed, Lucas knew that a solid, well-thought-out plan was essential. He decided he wouldn't invest impulsively, so he spent weeks carefully planning each step of this new venture, from choosing the ideal car to managing the rental process efficiently and securely. The first step was to find the right vehicle. Lucas knew that choosing an economical car would be essential to attract drivers who looked for models with low fuel consumption and affordable maintenance factors that are crucial for those who spend long hours on the road. He researched popular models among rideshare drivers like the Toyota Corolla, Honda Civic, and Nissan Versa, and ultimately decided on a used Toyota Corolla priced at around $12,000. He selected a low-mileage used car to reduce initial costs and to ensure a quicker return on investment. Lucas used $4,000 from his savings as a down payment and financed the rest over 36 months with payments of about $200. By financing, he calculated that the rental income would cover the monthly loan payments and still generate a notable profit. His idea was for the car to pay for itself over time while he focused on expanding the strategy and adding more vehicles to his rental operation. After buying the car, Lucas took care of all the necessary paperwork and invested in a thorough maintenance check to ensure the vehicle was in top shape for prospective drivers. He understood that to maintain a steady income stream and avoid potential issues, the car had to be well maintained from day one. He conducted an overall inspection that included an oil change, alignment, and brake check, costing him around $150, a sum he saw as a fundamental part of his initial investment. Additionally, Lucas took out a specific insurance policy for rented vehicles, a crucial protection, given that the car would face more risks on the road than a personal vehicle would. This insurance cost him $50 a month, but in his view, this was essential for ensuring the safety of both the car and the driver. With the car ready, Lucas set the rental rate. After researching the market, he found that rideshare drivers typically paid about $400 a week to rent a car. This rate would cover the financing payments, insurance, and maintenance costs, leaving a substantial profit margin for Lucas. To make sure his car was consistently rented, he listed it on specific car rental platforms and joined rideshare driver groups on social media to promote the vehicle. Within a few days, he received several inquiries from interested drivers. Lucas interviewed each driver to understand their needs and experiences, and eventually signed a formal contract with a responsible driver, including specific clauses on vehicle use and maintenance. He knew a contract was essential to protect both parties and to ensure that everything was handled clearly and securely. The contract specified the driver's responsibilities, such as keeping the car clean and returning it in good condition, performing basic maintenance like oil changes, and paying rent at the beginning of each month. Lucas also established a monthly check-in routine, meeting with the driver to inspect the car and make sure it was well cared for. With the first car rented and generating income, Lucas began reinvesting part of his profits to cover future maintenance and save the rest to acquire a second car. His goal was to expand gradually, purchasing one new car each year and reinvesting the rental income. After 6 months, Lucas had saved enough for a down payment on a second car. Following the same strategy, he financed the remaining balance and expanded his fleet. With 2 cars rented, his passive income grew, giving him a more consistent cash flow. As he managed 2 cars, Lucas learned that maintaining strong relationships with his drivers was crucial to keeping the vehicles in good condition. He carefully selected responsible drivers and maintained regular communication, which helped him avoid issues and build reliable partnerships. Additionally, Lucas arranged a deal with a local mechanic shop for discounted regular maintenance, ensuring that upkeep remained affordable. With this structure in place and a stable cash flow, Lucas was ready to continue growing. His strategy was working, and each new car represented an opportunity to increase his passive income without adding to his working hours. As the car rental strategy took off, Lucas began to see financial results within weeks. In the first month alone, he realized that passive income was a reality, and there was immense satisfaction in watching money come in without needing to work extra hours. The $400 weekly rental fee covered all car expenses, including the $200 loan payment, $50 monthly insurance, and a $75 maintenance fund. This arrangement gave Lucas a net profit of $300 with just the first car. This initial experience boosted Lucas's confidence, encouraging him to expand further. After 6 months, he had saved enough to make a down payment on a second car, and his profits doubled quickly. With 2 rented cars, his net passive income rose to around $600 per month. This income was enough to cover some personal expenses, but Lucas remained determined to reinvest part of his earnings to grow his fleet even further. In less than 2 years, Lucas had expanded his small fleet to 4 cars. He stuck to the same strategy, selecting economical, low-mileage used models and financing part of the cost to maximize his return on investment. With each car bringing in an average net profit of $300, he was generating a total passive income of approximately $1,200 per month. This income covered nearly all his monthly expenses, allowing him to reinvest in his fleet while setting aside emergency funds. As his fleet grew to 4 cars, Lucas realized that his rental business had become a stable, scalable income source. He didn't need to make significant operational changes since he kept open communication with the drivers and maintained trusted partnerships with the auto shop and insurance provider. Each additional car rental was an opportunity to increase his income further, and Lucas began to see the possibility of achieving full financial independence in just a few years. As his earnings accumulated, Lucas followed a fundamental rule: reinvestment. He knew that to keep expanding without jeopardizing his financial stability, he needed to reinvest part of his profits in new vehicles and maintain the quality of his existing ones. This strategy allowed him to uphold high service quality and ensure driver satisfaction. Moreover, Lucas set aside a fixed amount each month for an emergency fund to cover any extra maintenance costs or periods when a car was temporarily unrented. This financial organization gave him the security to handle unforeseen events, keeping his operation steady and profitable. With 4 cars generating $1,200 in passive income each month, Lucas finally achieved the financial peace he'd longed for. He continued working his IT job, but now had an independent income stream that covered all his fixed expenses and granted him the freedom to choose how to spend his time and money. This transformation affected not only his finances, but also his quality of life. Lucas began planning vacations, investing in professional development courses, and exploring business opportunities that had once seemed out of reach. Lucas became a resource for friends and family, who frequently asked for advice on investments and generating passive income. He shared his journey, showing that with planning and discipline, it's possible to build a stable income stream, even when starting with modest means. Enjoyed Lucas's story? Subscribe to our channel for more content on passive income and investment strategies that can change your financial life. And remember, with discipline and a strategy, financial independence is within reach for everyone.